My name's Jay and I have a videography and photography business. My intention with these videos is to share my experiences in life and in business, maybe to just make more sense of it for myself, and also maybe in the hopes that somebody sees it and they can resonate with what I'm talking about. So today I want to talk about what I believe the real meaning behind the movie Limitless is, and what I also believe is sort of the secret behind gaining real control over our lives and doing exactly what we want to do. So basically, we're all supercomputers. All of the information that I've ever taken in gets blended with walks and meditations and my work and good conversations and good food, and good laughs, and it crafts my experience that I have here today. I have this theory that the 5% of our brains that we have access to is our consciousness, or our conscious mind. That's the conversations that we have, the choice that I had to sit here and set this camera up and start talking, the choice that I have to read a certain book, etc., and on and on. All of these things, that is the conscious mind. That is the 5% that we have full access to all the time. Now the other 95% is the subconscious mind. That is the part of our mind that we don't exactly have full access to most of the time, or at all. The subconscious mind is where all of our reactions come from. So it is the way that we react to people and things in certain situations. So it's the things that we say, it's the things that we do, and a lot of the time wish we didn't do. That is your subconscious mind. So every single thing that we've ever done and experienced, it gets filed away into the subconscious mind, and depending on the relationship that we have with ourselves, we're either very aware of this or completely oblivious to it. Steve Jobs once said that it's by looking back that we're able to connect the dots. So I believe that by looking back at all the things that have happened to us over the years, we can really start to kind of peel back the layers and gain a better understanding of what is inside of our subconscious minds. This is going to start to explain why maybe certain things might make you feel angry or sad, or maybe if something doesn't go your way, you react in a certain way, and then you're left confused and wondering why you reacted in that way. Because, usually these are bad emotions, it's negativity, right? Maybe it's anger or frustration, or you're telling somebody that you didn't like how they came across in a particular situation. You don't want to react in that way. So by looking back at your past, so your childhood, maybe there's some trauma in there, or even just the past few years, past experiences, by looking back at that and really starting to access it, we can start to understand why maybe sometimes we react to situations in certain ways. So if we look at a movie like Limitless, we're able to really sort of paint a clear picture of what the unlimited human potential can possibly be. So if you're not familiar with the movie, it stars Bradley Cooper and Robert De Niro, and it's really good. Basically, Bradley Cooper is a writer and he lives in New York City and he's not doing good. He claims he's writing a book, but he hasn't written a page basically. He's down on his luck, and in the middle of the day he runs into an old acquaintance of his, which is his ex-wife's brother, who was always a drug dealer. And this guy says, "Hey, I can solve all your problems. Just take this little pill." And so he takes the pill. The ex-brother-in-law ends up dying. It turns out that this drug is really valuable. And what happens when he takes the drug is everything just gets brighter and more vivid, and he has access to literally everything he has ever learned. So that is, he's unlocking the power of his subconscious mind, essentially. We don't have a pill like that I know of, at least not yet. But in the same way, I believe that we're capable of making ourselves limitless by developing our own sort of medicine for scraping through the subconscious mind and being able to access all of this information that's in there. And we can either use it to our benefit or it's going to work against us. So my version of the Limitless pill is basically following routines that I feel at the beginning were strict. I was very strict about them. And now they've sort of just taken their place in my life. It's become automatic for me, these routines. It lies in my reading, my writing, my meditation practice, my exercise, and as well as going for regular walks with my dog. These activities are activities that I have full control over. right? So the walks with the dog, those happen periodically throughout the day. The exercise, that's either gonna happen sometime in the morning or just before lunch or just before supper, depending on what my schedule is that day. But the three things that I have really stuck to that are just ingrained into my DNA now at this point are, no matter what time I wake up, I put coffee on, I sit and I read for 20 minutes, and then I write for 20 minutes, just rough writing. This is a brain dump. And then I meditate for 20 minutes. I've been doing this for about 3 or 4 years now. Now it is at this point where it's just automatic for me. But what I've found is that because I start my day in this way, I feel as though I have complete control over the information that's coming into my mind. And then when the information comes into my mind in the form of reading, I'm then releasing any thoughts I have about it, which is going to trigger other micro thoughts. So like when I'm up in the morning, no phones, no emails, no real conversations with anybody. I am brainwashing myself every single morning to be exactly how I want to be for that entire day. So just to kind of demonstrate how powerful your subconscious mind is, I'm sure you've had those moments where maybe you were thinking of someone's name and you're trying to remember it and you just couldn't remember for the life of you. And then you just give up and you're like, whatever, I guess I don't remember. And then maybe like an hour goes by, maybe a half hour, maybe even longer, and you're just sitting there eating supper and then the name pops in your head. That is the subconscious mind at work. So you got to remember that your subconscious mind, your subconscious mind is you. It knows this name. Your subconscious mind possesses every bit of information you've ever ingested in your entire life. It doesn't go away. It doesn't get erased. So if you can put yourself in the position by controlling as many conscious things you do as possible, and then sort of letting the subconscious mind do the work for you from time to time when it's required, you'll start to find that the pieces just kind of fall into place for you. It's been found that the conscious mind is only capable of processing 50 bits of information per second. That number seems arbitrary if we don't have anything to compare it to. So let's look at the subconscious mind, which has been found to process 11 million bits of information per second. That literally means that every single thing that's happening to you, I mean, as I'm sitting here and talking, I can see my whiteboard and my peripheral, and I'm not registering exactly what is written on it, but it is entering my consciousness. It's going into my subconscious mind. So it's very important to control that flow of information that is coming into your mind, because you got to remember that just because your conscious mind, your conscious thought is not processing it and thinking about it, the deeper recesses of your mind are processing it and thinking about it. So that's like the noise your neighbor's making, or your dog over in the corner doing something, or your phone buzzing when you're trying to work, or literally anything that happens, it's going into your mind. So the more you can get control over the types of situations you're finding yourself in and the types of information you're taking in, the more you'll have access to the good parts of your subconscious mind, and the more you'll start to really take control over what is sitting at the surface layer within that part of your mind. So in closing, if you're able to do this and you're able to dial in those routines, you're able to really consciously choose what you do with your time from the moment you wake up, you will drastically improve the quality of your life, and you'll be able to live the life you want to live. Then you get to pass this on to everybody else in your life that is important to you. We live in the most amazing time ever. I mean, we have all the information at our fingertips. So then it does become a question of what are you going to do with that information? So that's it. Thank you for watching. I hope this spins some kind of different thoughts in your head, and it maybe helps you gain a clear perspective of why sometimes you react to things in certain ways and what you can actually do about it. That's it. See you next time.